would just like to share my stories of what happened today. Today is the 7th anniversary of 9/11. We came to Ground Zero. I was there with Manny Badillo, Sabrina Rivera, other family members, John Field, Bob McIlvain. And being down there, it was just an emotional experience, seeing all the families, seeing all the kids, seeing all the people lost because of this tragic event. It just really hits your heart so much, and it just makes you appreciate so much that we are here and we have the ability to do anything, and it's time right now that we fix the wrongs, and the time is right now, the time is today. So we did an amazing job today. I remember being down there with all the family members, and this little young lady came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, were you out here 2 years ago?" She's like, "You gave me a DVD, right?" I was like, "I think so. I give a lot of DVDs out, I don't know." And she was like, "Yeah, I lost my sister here on 9/11, and 2 years ago you gave me this DVD, and it changed my life. And I went to work and I gave it to everybody at work. I gave it to all my friends and all my families, and I'm making everybody believe the truth behind 9/11. And that today was the most gratifying feeling that I ever got every day." It just shows you how much of a difference we're making one person at a time. A lot of times you go through thousands of flyers, thousands of DVDs, and you don't get a reaction back. And you don't know what happened to those DVDs. You don't know who read those flyers. And you don't know. Once in a while, you're lucky enough to have somebody come back to you and say thank you. So keep giving those DVDs out. Keep giving out those flyers, because you never know who's going to read them. You never know whose mind you're going to change. You never know who you're going to free with information. And that's what it's about. And we gave out tons of DVDs, tons of flyers today. Now, after the name calling was done at Ground Zero, me and Sabrina actually walked down to the main memorial pit at Ground Zero to display flowers and pay respect for all the people that can't be here. And as we were walking down the ramp, who do we see coming up the ramp? Giuliani, yeah. And it was very short notice. I see him walking up with his little evil smile, and he's smiling, and I was just like looking at him, and then he turned right to me, and he's like, "Hey," trying to get some photo ops, and he was looking at me, and he was smiling, and I was like, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And you see him like kind of wither away, and you see that his soul is empty, because they know they should be ashamed not being there. They know that they disrespected their family members by throwing them into garbage dumps. They know that he lied to all the first responders out there about the air quality. He knows he is ashamed. His soul is empty and dark. And when I looked him right in the eyes, I felt so strong, so invigorated, and it felt so beautiful letting him know. And he cowered away like a little punk, and I got a security guard back there. Sit down, I got more, don't worry, it gets better. We walked down, and we're paying respects, we're dropping flowers, Sabrina's writing, rest in peace, all the people that she went through, and who do we see down there with the pit? Mayor Bloomberg. Yeah. I'm like, holy cow, Mayor Bloomberg's here. And I forgot one thing. Did you guys see the Bloomberg confrontation when I confronted Bloomberg? No. And there was that one security guard that was pushing me and assaulting me, that one tall guy. I actually saw him when they were reading the names, and as I was coming up to me, he reached out his hand, he was like, "Hey Luke, how you doing?" And he knew my name, yeah. And then I see him coming down, and I see Mayor Bloomberg there, and we decided to pay respects and walk up the ramp, and Mayor Bloomberg's right behind us, and I go to him, I'm like, "Mayor Bloomberg, you have to help out these 9/11 heroes." And he's like, "We're doing all we can." I was like, "No, you're not." Only to be pushed by a police officer away. He's walking up the ramp, and he gets off the little exit, and we're talking to him like, "Look at Greg Cobell, a good friend of mine passed away. You're not helping him, nobody's helping him, please help." Sabrina's screaming at him, "You gotta help these heroes out. Why are you doing your job?" Basically embarrassed him, and he just walked away. We keep walking down, and we're by the tent house, right by Ground Zero. And who do we see again? Giuliani. We see Rudolph Giuliani one more time. Sabrina and Erica run up to him. I got the camera in the back. I'm just making sure nothing happens to him. And they start going at him about him throwing the family members in the garbage and first responders issues. And he's just like panicking. He's fucking doesn't know where to go. And then his security guards, he just starts running. And then one of his security guards actually pushed Sabrina down on the floor. Like he literally pushed Sabrina down. Sabrina fell on the floor just for asking Giuliani a question. And Sabrina's laying there crying because she hurt her arm and it's bruised right now. And then you see Giuliani just run. Like I never saw an old man run so fast. I was like, and I start screaming, yo, get the cops. The security dude just assaulted Sabrina. I was like, get the cops. That's assault. And I start banging out. And I'm like, where'd he go? And I didn't even see where he went. And then some guy comes up to me, a firefighter, he was like, he went that way. Yeah. Hold on, it gets better. I'm like, that's it. I started giving chances, I started running. He was already 2 blocks down. It was only a couple minutes and he was already 2 blocks down. And he goes down the side street that looked kind of like an alley. And he's by himself with a security guard and his wife and another police officer. I just start running him down. And I just went at him. I verbally abused him so bad. And it felt so good letting that punk know what's up. The security guard tried to push me down on the floor until I stepped back. I said, you know you're going to be on YouTube. You know the whole world's going to see this right now. I dare you to assault me. I start going after him until 2 cops actually have to grab me. 2 cops grab me by both my arms and start dragging me away from Giuliani. And then they're like, okay, go home, whatever. And they just let me go. And then we find out that there's so many people out there who would investigate 9/11 shirts that they couldn't even wait for me to start the march. They started the march when I'm going through all this, and there was so many people out there with just the shirts, with the flyers, with the DVDs and signs, and police officers coming to us saying, yo, you guys are taking over the city, what are you guys doing? Like, we had so many people out there that for one instance, you could look down for 3 to 4 blocks, and all you see is black t-shirts and people screaming 9/11 Truth Now and WeAreChange. And we went on Broadway. We went by the Federal Reserve. We went to Police Plaza. We went to Building 7, and we let everybody know that we are never going away. We will be here 8 years from now, 9 years from now, and 10 years from now until a lot of 9/11 is uncovered, and we will never stop, ever. Our spirit is strong, their spirits are weak, and the time is now when we all rise up, empower ourselves, and we can do anything we want. What we're doing right now, saving lives of heroes, is a beautiful thing, and each one of you is a part of that. Each one of you here who bought a ticket is a part of saving somebody's life, making somebody's life better, doing the government's job, and that's what it's about, being the change that we want to see in this world. The government won't do it. We don't care about the government. We don't want the government because we are change, and we will make the wrongs right, and that's exactly what we're doing here this week. And it was so beautiful seeing so many people out there, seeing the cops just bugging out. The cops didn't know what to do. And then later on, the cops came and they were like, yo, you guys took over the city, man. And he was like, you could change the world. He was like, this kid, he could change the world. And it was a sergeant police officer that was telling us this after the rally. And it just shows you what kind of impact we're making on the police department and how we're working with the police and the military against the elite. And this fight is going to be over sooner than ever. And right now, the 1% that controls 90% of the world's wealth is going to be flipped around, and we're going to take it, just like Dan Wallace said. They take it from the top to the bottom. We're going to take it from the bottom to the top. The time is now. Again, just like WeAreChange LA always says, we are fearless, we are patriots, we are change. Thank you very much.